One of the important aspects of Ayurvedic physiology is called as Kriya Sharira or functional physiology or physiology. Why it is important to learn physiology? Because physiology means the normal process, the normal body functions, the normal body parts. To know normal is important, so unless we know normal, we will not know what is abnormal. Abnormal means pathology, right? So if you want to understand the disease and if you want to diagnose the disease and the pathology, we should know what is the normal. Then we will be able to differentiate between normal and abnormal. When we talk about Ayurvedic perspectives of physiology, we are dealing with three basic terms. Those are dosha, dhatu and mala. So we will do doshas first. The three doshas, the three types of doshas. What are they and what are their functions? It is important to understand them as per our body needs, because it is important to understand what kind of a person we are as per the doshas. What is our normal physiological body? How are we made up? What are the functions which are carried out by three doshas? When we know what are the normal functions, what is the normal perspective, then when we suffer from any disease, we will know what has gone wrong and what needs to be corrected. So dosha is in little words, it means that which vitiates, right? It means that the word dosha means that it is something which damages or destroys something else. That means it is maintaining the good, it is maintaining the normal, right? And that's what we need to know. Then what is this which maintains that normal, right? So we have three doshas is already, as the name suggests, it means that there are three kinds of doshas, and they are also called as the three pillars of the body. They are vata, pitta and kapha. Vata, pitta, kapha. Acharya Charaka says that just as the external world is maintained by three most important dhatus like Vayu, air, Surya, sun, and Chandra, moon, the body, our body, is also maintained by these three. They are all linked together each other. That's vata, pitta and kapha. So when we talk about vata, it is the air which dominates there. Pitta, the sun which dominates there. And in kapha, the water and the earth is what which dominates there. So they are like, the macrocosm has three, our outer environment has three, our inner environment and the microcosm is also governed by three principles. So those are the analogies which we see. Okay. When we come to the physical qualities, so let us come directly to vata, pitta and kapha and try to understand what is vata, what is pitta and what is kapha. How do they look like and how do they function? Okay. So when we are describing the qualities of vata, vata qualities are described as 7 qualities. So what are these 7 qualities which are described? We have to understand that we are imagining air. Vata is air, right? If we understand something, keep the air in mind, and then if I am going to tell you those 7 qualities, you will be able to relate. So those are ruksha, dry, sita, cold, laghu, light, chala, mobile, sukshma, minute, vishad, clear, khara, rough. All 7 properties are the properties of air. Air is light, it moves, it is motile, it is very minute, it can go through minute spaces, it is rough, it causes dryness, it is cool and cold, right? So all those properties, they make up the vata. Okay. Similarly, when we come to pitta, we have to remember that pitta is the sun. Keeping sun in mind, now what are the qualities of pitta? If we keep the sun in mind, the pitta qualities are ushna, tikshna, darva, drava, amla, sara, katu, vishra, sasneha, laghu, vishada. What does it mean? These are 10 qualities, and what are those 10 qualities? I will say again. Ushna, hot, because the sun is hot. Tikshna, it is sharp and penetrating. Darva, liquid, feels like liquid, right? Amla, it is sour. Sara, fluid. Katu, acrid, again sour, something similar to sour. Vishara, smells foul. Sasneha, it is slightly viscous, not exactly viscous but slightly viscous, that which is the similar as saying that it is liquid and fluidy in nature. Laghu, which is light, and Vishada, which means it's clear. It represents the Agni element in the body, again because it is the sun, like characteristics. Now we come to Kapha. Kapha dosha properties are nine in number. They are mostly starting with S, the word S, like Sita, Mridu, Snigdha, Sthira, Pichila, Shweta, Lavana, Slakshna, and Guru. Now I'll tell you how to remember these. Sita is cool, another S Snigdha, vicious, another S Sthira, stable, another S Shweta, white, another S Lakshana, smooth. So 5 of the Ayurvedic terms of S. Now another 3 terms which I will tell. Pichila. Pichila means slimy, so slimy S. Okay. Then Mridu. Mridu means soft, so one more S, soft. And then the last one is Guru, which is the separate term, so H, right? So we come out to all 9. Yes, one more S which we missed was Lavana, is salty. Okay, so those mostly are S things, and that is Kapha. So in Kapha is the property of water and earth. It is heavier, it is denser. It is also the opposite of Vata. So if we see what were the Vata properties, and if we compare it to Kapha, they will be almost opposite properties of those of that of Vata. Other than that all these properties which we have just discussed, Tridoshas also have Gandha, Rasa, and Varna. Gandha means smell, Rasa means taste, and Varna means color. What is that? Again, Vata, it's air, so it is colorless, odorless. No color, no smell, no taste. All 3. Pitta is yellow, so the Varna, that means the color became yellow. Okay, the taste is sour, and it has a smell. It is the only dosha which has smell, the foul smell, the Vishara. Kapha, we said one of the properties of Kapha was Shweta, white, so the color is white. The taste is Swadu, that is sweet, and there is no smell. So the only Tridosha which has smell, which is a foul smell, is Pitta. The dosha which has nothing, no smell, no taste, no color, is Vata. The remaining is Kapha. It is white and sweet but no smell. Okay. What are those physiological functions? What do they do in the body? And that is what we have to understand, because when we are talking about these 3 doshas, and if we want to understand what is important, everyone will have a different balance of these doshas in the bodies. Okay, but it is said as per Ayurveda that Vata dosha is actually the basis of life of all living beings, because it is something which is moving inside our body, and Vata is that mobile, right? That moving property, that life property, that it keeps on moving, is dominated by the Vata. Okay, because Vayu is responsible for enthusiasm, for inspiration, for expiration, for movements of different dhatus and circulatory channels. That is why it becomes a most important dosha in the body, and everyone will have Vata, Pitta, and Kapha, but the dominance of all the 3 doshas will be different for each of us. When we talk about Pitta is the sun, and the sun and the Agni in the body is described by the digestive fire, the Jathar Agni. So Pitta is the seat of Pachan, that is digestion. It is also responsible for visual perception, what we are seeing through our eyes, that is Pitta. It maintains the color and the complexion and the luster of the skin. It will produce hunger, appetite, because it is the seat of digestion, right? It will give courage and cheerfulness, and there is a lucidity of mind. So these are all Pittas. A person of Pitta would be very knowledgeable also. Same, there's some similarities with Kapha. When we come to Kapha, we are actually talking about heaviness and slimy and oily nature. So It is something which gives you strength, stability and firmness. Because it is oil, it is expressed in the joints, so it will give you that kind of movement which is required for the joints to glide over each other. It is also responsible for sexual potency. It has the capacity to produce the progeny. Then there are some other you know emotions or feelings which we can relate to kapha, which are like forbearance, patience, non-greediness, knowledge, memory. Those, especially knowledge and memory, right? These are the things which are controlled by kapha, which makes you a very stable person, right? A stability in the society. So that is kapha. It is dense and stable. Okay. Along with three doshas, there are three gunas, more which are related to the mental aspects of the body, right? Which are sattvic, sattva, tamas, and rajas. Sattva guna is supposed to be light and illuminating. Rajas is chala, mobile. So as if we are correlating it in our mind, rajas would definitely be correlated to vata then, because it is mobile and vata is mobile. Tamas, guru, is heavy, so it would be related to kapha, yes. And sattva guna is the one in which there is a balance of all the doshas. So it is not a dosha itself. It is not a guna. It's like it is a part of a guna, but it is something where everything is balanced. In rajas there will be excess of vata, and in tamas there will be excess of kapha. In sattvic stage, all three are balanced. It may have a higher predominance of pitta, but still mostly all the doshas are balanced in the state of sattva. And whenever there is an imbalance in any of the doshas and the gunas, we express disease. So it is either a physical disease or a mental disease. Physical disease as in the form of imbalance between vata, pitta and kapha. Mental disease as in the form of imbalance of sattva, rajas and tamas. Mostly rajas and tamas, because sattvic is the state which we want to achieve. So we have also learned that there are seasonal variations of dosha, which will also be better learned in the chapters of Ritucharya and Ritu Shodhana. Those are the chapters which deal with it more in detail. But let us try to understand that what happens in what season. So what happens is that any dosha will be normal, or it will accumulate, or it will aggravate. So what happens to what in which season? Let us see vata. Vata is cold, slimy, it's not slimy, sorry, cold and rough and hard and airy, right? So we can understand that it would be normal in Sharad, Sharad Rishu, okay? It will accumulate in Grishma, and it will start aggravating in Varsha, okay? Now if we understand Pitta and keep the sun in mind, we will understand that it would be be a normal variety in Hemant, okay? Then in accumulation or the chaya will take place in Varsha Ritu, and the prakopa or the aggravation will take up in Sharad Ritu, okay? What about kapha? Kapha is dense, heavy, slimy. It will be normal in Grishma, okay? It will start accumulating or chaya in Shishira, and it will lead to prakopa or aggravation in Vasanta. Why it is important to understand? Because when it starts to have prakopa or aggravation, in that particular season we need to do processes to eliminate those kind of doshas from our body, okay? If it is normal, we are not doing anything for that. When it starts accumulating, we start taking elementary steps, changes in our lifestyle which maintains those normal process. And when it's aggravate and forms prakopas, we have to start eliminating that kind of excess of that dosha from that body. Now, what is the location of this doshas in the body? So from below to upwards, from downwards to up, if we come, a general location I am telling, the lowest position where we have our excretory organs and the large intestines is the seat of vata. Then we come to the middle part where we have our stomach and its allied organs is the seat of pitta. We have also understood that pitta is the agni, the digestive agni. So it has to be stomach where it is accentuated more, okay? And then we come to the most upper part of the body, about the chest and the thorax, and the lungs, that is where is the seat of kapha. When we say that these are the seats of these doshas, that means that doshas are dominantly resting here. But all the doshas will be found in movement, in function, in every part of the body. For example, if I am inhaling something, if I am inhaling air, if I am inhaling perfume, it is the vata which is going to help in the perception of inhalation. So nose tract and all those things will, it is where vata is going to function. But the seat of vata, as we know, is in the lowest part of the body, the large intestine, right? So that is where it sits, but it moves throughout the body. So that we have to understand that when we are talking about location, we are talking about where they sit and where they collect or where they are dominant. But in every part of the body there will be a function of all three doshas, some less, some more, but there will be presence of all of them. Okay. So when we are talking about vata, there are a lot of places. I will just say the name of all those places, especially in the lowest parts of our body: large intestine, pelvic region, thighs, ears, bones, lower extremities, skin. But the special seat is pakvasya, that means the large intestine. Okay. When we are talking about pitta, the seat is sweat and plasma, lymph, rakt or blood, stomach, umbilicus, eyes, and twak, which is the skin. But the most important seat is stomach or umbilicus. Both are considered to be as the important seats as per different acharyas. Okay. When we are talking about kapha, we spoke about the chest, the throat, the head and neck region, the bony joints, the tongue, the joints. But the specific seat is uras. Uras means the chest. So the specific seat is the uras, but there are allied seats also, and they also move and function elsewhere also in the body. Right. Now we have subtypes of vata, pitta, and kapha. What are the subtypes of vata? They are 5 types. What are those 5 types? Pranavayu, Udanavayu, Vayanavayu, Samanavayu, Apanavayu. Prana, Udana, Apana, Vayana, Samana. Easy to learn. Prana, Udana, Apana, Samana, Vayana. What is pranavayu? The term itself is telling that it is related to pran, something which it's a vital force in the body. So the seats are head, chest, throat, tongue, mouth, nose, and face. Among these, the siras, that means the head, is considered as the most important seat. And why it is moving? Because I'll tell you that it travels through these places, because of inspiration and expiration. It is motile. It is the movement involving dosha. So vata is traveling through these spaces. But we know that the seat, the chest, is that of a kapha. Right? Udana vayu, it is situated in the chest. So do not get confused that kapha is the one which is situated in chest. No, udana vayu is also there because it is in its functional aspect. The nose, the umbilical region, the throat and the neck region, and the throat region. The uras is the main location, and the other are the location of its movement. Uras means chest. Okay. And what is the function when it is moving in these bodies? It is the function to maintain speech. The prana was inspiration, expiration. Udana is for speech. What is Vayana? Vayana is located in the heart. What movement will be there? It is the movement of the circulation of blood. The blood is moving. So the movement is circulation in the whole body. It also helps in the movement of the limbs. So when we are moving our limbs, we are actually moving. We are doing locomotion. We are doing elevation, contraction, pronation, supination, all those movements which we are doing of the joints. So it is kind of motor activities which it is controlling. So Vayana controls the circulation and the motor activities. Samana is located near the Jatharagni. Jatharagni, that means somewhere in the digestive place, which is stomach and intestines. What does it do? Pitta is the digestive fire. But what we need to stimulate the fire? There is a need of presence of air. When we want to light a fire, there is air also there. That is the role of Vayu in here, in the Jatharagni or in the stomach and the intestinal region, that it will stimulate the digestive fire. So it will help in the digestion of food. It will also help in the digestion, absorption of the digestive food, because it is movement, right? Something is moving to get absorbed. Movement is vata. So that samana vaya, vata is the one which is helping in the absorption of the digestive food. What is apana? Again, we go to the lower bodies, we have excreta which is being formed, and that needs to be expelled, right? Again, it needs to be moved out, right? Even the shukra, that is ejaculation of the semen, needs movement. So in the lower parts of the body, that is where the movement is required. So apana vata is the one which is doing all those movements. And we have also come to the seat of vata. So vata actually resides in the lower part. When we are saying the large intestine is the seat of the vata. It also helps in the expulsion of the menstrual discharge, and very importantly, it helps in the delivery of the fetus. The fetus also needs to move out of the body. That movement of the fetus from the womb is also mediated by apana vayu. Okay. Now we come to pitta. Pitta also has 5 types. What are those 5 types? Pachaka, Ranchaka, Alochaka, Sadhaka, Bhrajaka. Pachaka, Ranchaka, Alochaka, Sadhaka and Bhrajaka. What is Pachak? The word itself, which explains, is digestive. So it helps in digestion. Why? Because it is the seat of fire, it is the seat of digestive fire. So obviously it is going to do that main function of the body. Ranjaka, Ranjak. It means red color. What is red in color in our body? Blood. So it helps to give that color of the blood. When the circulation and the movement of blood was coming, we were talking about vata. But now we are talking about the color, the redness. We are talking about Ranjaka, Pitta. It is also located in liver and spleen. Why? Because those are the seats of formation of and destruction of RBCs also. Spleen is actually called as the graveyard of RBC of the body. Okay, so that is why it is also considered as important in Ayurveda as Ranjaka Pitta. Alochaka Pitta, Alochak. We become Alochak when we perceive something, and the biggest thing which we perceive through our senses is visual perception. So that eyes, which is particularly a set of this sense is particular to that of pitta. And which pitta? Alochaka Pitta. Only 1% work to see function of perception of vision. Sadhaka Pitta. What is sadhaka? It is when we read about that, it is something like emotions, a kind of seat of emotions or desires. So Hridaya is the seat of Sadhaka Pitta. What are its functions? Manoratha. Manorath means some desire, so the aspirations and desires, which are dharma, artha, kam, moksha. So those, as per the spiritual text, as per the scriptures, dharma, artha, kam and moksha are the desires which every human beings had. Sadhak Pitta is the one which regulates these through intelligence and buddhi. Then there are some psychic functions like bhay or fear, shaurya or courage, krodh, anger, harsh, cheerfulness, moha, delusion, which are all performed by pitta. So broadly, if we see, sadhak pitta is the one which is helping in desires and some psychic functions. Okay, it is responsible for 3 important things: BUM, buddhi, utsah, medha. Okay, so when we are talking about in our body, the pitta dominance body, then these features also should be seen. Okay, the one with good digestive energy, like the sun, courageous, fearless, and sometimes angry because you get heated up fast. Is sun hai. So those sadhak pitta is the one which is coming here. Okay, what about the last one? Last one is bhrajaka pitta. Bhrajaka means the skin or the touch. So it is responsible for the complexion and luster. The skin color which we have, it is because of this pitta. Kapha, again 5 types. So all vata, pitta and kapha had 5 subtypes. So what are the 5 subtypes of kapha? They are avlambaka, kledaka, bodhaka, tarpaka and shleshaka. They are also almost similar to the properties. So as we go by the name, we will understand with the properties of kapha. Avlambaka kapha. It is situated in its base position, chest. The kapha is located in the chest region. So when it is there, it will support and give three most important functions. Trika by its own power. What does trika means? Trika is the junction of three bones. Trika, three, right? What are that? The two shoulder bones and the cervical, the neck. So the neck and the shoulder, when it joins, that particular point is called trika. It is a very important point in the body. Massage and regular massage of this area relieves a lot of pain and also enhances the kapha, the seat, the power of the kapha of enhancing this thing. It will give stability and support and strength to the body. Okay. The other one is kledaka kapha. Kledaka is in amasya. Amasya means stomach. What does it do here? It is oily in nature, so it's obviously going to make something smooth and moisten it. What do we need to moisten in the stomach? The food and the bolus which is formed. It has to be broken into smaller parts, so that sliminess is provided by this kledaka kapha in that region. Bodhaka kafas. Bodhak means trying to understand something. What is kapha trying to understand in its seat of the tongue? It is the taste of the food. That is what it tries to understand. So it is the taste bud. They are located in the tongue and also in the root of the tongue, the base of the tongue. Tarpaka kapha. Tarpaka, the site is the head, the cirrus. And what does it want to do? It is in the head actually. All our sense organs are there, right? So it is providing the normal functions of these sense organs by nourishing and soothing them, by keeping them oily, slimy, by its property of being oily and slimy, right? Shleshika kapha. Shleshika means it is there in the joints. Why do we need joints to be oily? So that there is no wear and tear when we are moving. So that synovial fluid, the oiliness in the joints is being provided by Shleshika kapha. It helps in lubrication of the joint, so we can move easily and there is no wear and tear of the bones which are there present in the joint. Sapt dhatus and their relation with Tridoshas. Okay, so we have to understand that these were the Tridoshas. What were their properties and how they were appearing in the body? What is the seat and all? How do they function? And then we have important points like Sapt dhatu, which we are going to cover in the next video. What are those dhatus? Sapta dhatus means there should be 7 dhatus. Again, what are their functions and related aspects?